morning and happy Monday. I just thought that I would share mine and my husband's testimony about our little girls. Wow, my coffee is spilling everywhere. This is tragic. Hold that thought. Anyways, yesterday was Mother's Day, and I know that Mother's Day can be a sad and a rough day for many women, even many children as well. So I thought that I would just share mine and my husband's testimony about our girls. So my husband and I, we got married January of 2021, and in March or April, we found out we were pregnant with our first baby. We were excited, we were ecstatic. I didn't know what to do. I was, completely new to this. So I called my OB office of choice and told them, hey, I am pregnant. And they said, okay, we'll see you at the 12-week mark. Great. At about 7 weeks, I started to have some bleeding, and everybody I talked to was like, this could be normal. It's just probably the baby's still getting cozy in there. Maybe your cervix is just really sensitive, etc. Well, I go to a ladies' conference knowing, let's backtrack. This was on a Thursday. The next day I was going to leave for ladies' conference, and on that Thursday, I had called my OB office and said, hey, I have been bleeding for a few days. It's nothing heavy, but I just want to be sure that my baby's okay. They said, great, let's get you in, no problem. I go in, they do an ultrasound, and there are the words that you don't ever want to hear when you are getting an ultrasound, and that was the ultrasound tech told me that this does not look good. So my OB came in, we kind of talked about it, and he's like, let's just kind of wait and see what happens. And so I went to ladies' conference that Sunday. After church, my husband and I went home to take a nap. I went to go use the bathroom, and there was a lot of blood and a lot of clots. We called my mom. My mom is a nurse, so we called her. She urged us to go to the ER. We went to the ER, and after a lot of testing and ultrasounds and blood work, I was miscarrying at that point in the hospital. So they cleaned me out, and I was actually admitted into the hospital because I was losing a lot of blood. They were afraid of me going anemic, all the scary things. So I had to, unfortunately, stay in the hospital during this time. The next morning, my OB comes in and, just tells me that miscarriages happen, but he said it in such a sweet way. He gave me some advice. He helped us through this. My hospital gave us a little teddy bear. We went home. I recovered, and shortly after, my husband and I tried again. And I remember month after month grieving my baby and being so confused why this was happening to us. So I then worked at this daycare center at the time. This is in the fall time, and I realized it was on a Friday. On this particular day, I had my favorite can of Red Bull and a venti Starbucks coffee on top of that. So I was sugared up at this daycare, and leaving work, I realized, oh, I seem to have missed my time of the month. So I go to the store, get a test. I didn't tell my husband what I was doing. I came home, took the test. It was blazing positive. I was really scared. I cried, but I thank God that, oh my goodness, this is happening. Some time went by. We went, got our ultrasound done. Baby looked great, growing, perfect. That's all we asked for. My baby is now almost 4 months. Oh my goodness, almost 4 years old. And that is when I witnessed a miracle and a healing. It's when God gave me my first earthside daughter. So When we miscarried our first baby, when I was in the hospital, a few weeks later was Mother's Day. So I had to experience my first ever Mother's Day in grief, because a few weeks prior I had lost our baby. So I understand heartbreak of losing a baby, and it jumps into Mother's Day. And yeah, it's a happy day when your mom is here and you have your babies, but there are also things inside of you that just grieve even harder on Mother's Day. So a few weeks before my daughter, who is now almost 4, before she turned 1, we had found out we were pregnant. And once again, we were excited. We were just just so thrilled. And I went to a trip in Kentucky with my family. I came back home. We celebrated my daughter's first birthday. Everything was perfect. The next day, I started bleeding and we miscarried. And from that moment forward, my husband and I were trying to conceive again. And this time things were rough. I was not getting pregnant. I did not know what was going on with my body. To be honest, I think part of me was convinced that my body was done having kids, that I could not have kids anymore. And I was just I remember feeling so sad and so heavy. I would cry and cry each month to the Lord. I just want a baby. I just want to give my baby a sibling. You know, all the things you pray for when you are praying to God. And my sister-in-law had told me about this hormone kit from Row Cost Organics that she had been using. And so not only does it help women conceive, but you can also use it to help regulate your cycles, ovulation, and just to feel better overall. So I bought the kit, used it for a few months, and realized I was doing it all wrong. I'm not going to go into detail how I was doing it wrong, but I was doing it wrong. And I remember one day calling my sister-in-law and saying, I'm not pregnant yet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Help me. So she actually helped me figure it out. And I switched prenatals. So I switched to the Needed brand for prenatals. I did their prenatal multivitamin, which they are very expensive, but they are very clean, and it has all the nutrients that you and baby need. And then I kind of switched my diet a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. And I started doing the hormone kit right. And 2 months later, I was pregnant with our now 1-year-old. And I can remember being pregnant. And actually, I found out I was pregnant the same time. So I miscarried our second baby when my daughter, a few days after my daughter turned 1. My first daughter. And so I actually found out I was pregnant the same day that I miscarried our second baby. And I ended up having our now daughter, who is 1, around the same time I would have had that other baby. So the Lord is just so good. He is so faithful. And it's so cool how he works everything out. And this is why I tell people who are trying to conceive, who are grieving, who, you know, trying for a baby is not easy, but I can promise you and tell you from my testimony and my experience that the Lord's timing is truly everything. It may not seem like it right now. You may be tired of people telling you this, but it is because it is very true. The Lord's timing is everything. There's a reason why the Lord is waiting to give you your blessing, your miracle, whatever it may be. The Lord's timing is truly precious, and when it happens, you will just, I can't explain it. It's just, words cannot explain how it feels when you finally get that victory and the Lord's timing was truly just everything. It is truly amazing. And so I was just sitting yesterday and I thought, okay, I want to make this video because Not only do I know several women personally in my life who are trying to conceive, but I'm sure there are so many more women out there who are trying to conceive. Maybe you've had a stillborn. I am so sorry. Maybe you've had a miscarriage. I'm so sorry. Your time is coming. In the name of Jesus Christ, your time is coming. I encourage you during your waiting season. This is the things that I did during my waiting season when I was, when we were trying to conceive our second baby. I read your Bible. Be encouraged and really get the mindset of God's will be done and that his timing is truly everything. And I promise you, things will fall into place and your timing, or not your timing, your miracle is coming very, very, very soon. Hold on to the promises of God. He does not go back on his promises. We may go back on our promises here on earth, but our God does not go back on his promises. What he says, he will do. His timing is everything. He loves you. He cares for you. He hears the cry of your heart. If you just believe in him and believe that he is going to make this happen for you, it is going to happen. I promise. I am the living testimony of this, that God can do anything. He can make anything happen. And before I end this video, I want to also share that when I was pregnant with our now 1-year-old, I was probably 8 weeks along at this time. I went to go use the bathroom. I had the tiniest bit of blood. And I remember thinking, dear God, please no. And I called my prayer partner from my church and my mother-in-law. And I said, I need you to stop what you're doing and pray right now. This is what's going on. Please pray right now. I turned on this song, and if I find the song, I will post it in the comments. And we prayed, and I listened to the song on repeat over and over and over and over again. And I said, I am going to go use the bathroom because I have to pee, but I have faith that there's not going to be any blood on this toilet paper and that the Lord has touched my baby. And there was nothing on that toilet paper. And I have no doubt that the Lord healed me and touched me right there and then. So remember, the Lord is faithful. He hears you. He sees your heart, mama. He knows you're trying. Wait on his timing. And in the meantime of your season of waiting, be strong, be of good courage, and know that the Lord is working this all out for your good, and his timing is truly precious. And when the Lord makes it happen, you are just going to rejoice so heavily because of your waiting season and how you can testify to other women the same exact thing that I am doing. How the Lord is great, he is faithful, and I am just so blessed that I have this testimony, because I love to share it to help other women through whatever it is they're going through. They're trying to conceive, they're going through a miscarriage, whatever it is. So I pray everybody has a good day. I pray this encouraged someone. If it did, share it with a friend, share it with a sister, or just share it in general for people who you know and see it on your Facebook or your social media who is trying to conceive.